Hey there, it's Erica. I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I heard and then applied and keep applying that continues to help me stay creative and stay functional and momentous and able to continue to transition myself through all of the massive changes that are going on, nationally and globally right now. This is a key thing that helps create the space and the calmness inside of me that allows me to come up with my new plans, my new ideas, or my new actions that I need to take. And it is just such a critical part of creating enough balance inside of myself to be able to move forward with momentum and clarity. So what that is I heard this at one point, that accept that wherever you are right now is exactly where you're meant to be. Accept that wherever you are right now is exactly where you're meant to be. What this does is it makes it where suddenly all of the energy that I might have been using, my precious energy from my thought life, from whatever I'm focusing on, just my personal energy, suddenly that energy that I might have been using to, why me? Why is this happening to the world? Why? And create this kind of stuck and past and frustrated and depressed and overwhelmed. It's a very, like if I'm not able to accept that where I am right now is exactly where I'm meant to be, then I'm going to be questioning all kinds of things about right now and wasting my time, wasting my energy, and in essence, wasting my ability to be able to powerfully move forward from wherever I am right now. So it's ironically, it creates this holding pattern, this stuck pattern when we're not able to accept what is, right? It's like in the very desire that we have this desire, when a crisis is hit, right? And in any time, outside of this year of global pandemic, there's other times in life where crisis can hit, right? We have our plans, we have what we're gonna do, we think we know where we're going, la 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 la, and then something hits and throws everything out the window. Many of us have had that kind of thing happen on some level or another in our past. Even as kids, you have a day, you think you're going to get to go swimming and do this whole fun thing, and then the party gets canceled. I mean, that can be really catastrophic when you're young. We all remember, and then I have kids. So, all the way up to where we're adults, and it's like, oh, I have this plan for my business. I have this plan for my career that's going to provide for my family and take care of all these things, and then something like this hits and it can create this huge shift in whatever it is that we thought we were going to do. There are people that will be able to become very resilient very quickly and bounce forward and take action and see the opportunities and have the energy and the motivation and the momentum to be able to carry those things out. And they will come out on the other side of this crisis better than they were before going in. And then there are some people where that may not be their story, right? It may just be the story that it all fell apart and nothing worked and fill in the blanks. There's like, multiple stories that'll come out. What I know to be true, because I have gone through a down market before, and I lost 2 homes within a matter of like 2 months of each other. It's like, I pretty much lost everything that I had. And then as I moved forward, I was able to move forward quickly with momentum and take action, and ended up creating the greatest wealth that I'd ever created back in 2008 during one of the biggest crashes we had before what's going on right now, right? And it's the same then and now, as far as, when things hit, what can sustain us. And it's not going to be the things outside of ourselves that give us that internal motivation, that internal clarity to be able to make clear decisions, act on those decisions, and make things happen. What's going to happen to some people, those ones that get stuck and that don't come out better on the other side, those are the people that are going to be standing there asking why. Why is this happening? Why is this going on? Why are they doing that? Why did this happen to me? And it's just this, this bewilderment and frustration, and it's a lot of focusing on the past and then focusing on what's wrong with the present and what's wrong with the past and how they can't do this and they can't do that, and that door is closed now, and they'll just stay staring at the closed door, not noticing that to the left of them there might be 10 open doors now. But we can't see the open doors when we're standing 2 inches away from the closed door and just having a panic attack about it, right? There's nothing to be done other than stand there stuck, focusing on what isn't working. And then we can choose to stay there for as long or as short as we desire to. The great news about life is it really is up to each one of us. There was a point in my life where that felt very frustrating to me. I kind of hated the idea that idea of that level of radical responsibility. I have had many seasons where I really wanted to blame other people for my failures or for the things that I wasn't willing or able to show up to, right, in life. I really wanted it to be somebody else's fault, responsibility, or job to make sure that I, why I wasn't pulling through. And so it's when you really want to blame somebody else or blame the economy or blame the world or blame whatever for why we're stuck, it's really rough because it creates what we call a victim mentality, a lack mentality. It's staring at that closed door where there isn't enough, there isn't a way, we can't see it, we can't do it. And I mean, there's nowhere to go but stuck from right there, right? And it's to our own making. And that's one side of the coin. And the other side, because it is completely up to us on the actions that we take and the willingness that we have to be able to move forward in life and take action, the great news about that radical responsibility, that it really is all on us, on how we create our own life. And so the great news is you can decide that you don't want to stay staring at the stuck door. You don't, or at the shut door while just being stuck in life. So we can step back from this and calm down and be able to see lots of other open doors. So the first big thing that we have to, the hurdle to overcome, is to stop asking, why is this happening to me? And, looking at all the things that are going wrong, and to accept that I am right where I am right now is exactly where I am meant to be. I'm not behind. I'm not off track. I'm not screwed. I'm not all these negative things. I am right where I'm supposed to be. And from that piece, that acceptance of what is in the moment, suddenly all of the resistance, all of the energy that was spent to continue to run that level of resistance dissipates. And all of a sudden there's a huge amount of a surge of energy that can open back up in your body, and the energy can instead of it being shunted, it's like if you could picture, a big air duct, and there's all this, it's like there's 2 rooms, and one of those rooms is everything that's good and forward and gonna, all of your creativity and your action. And this other room, it's just, this room where it's just a bed where you can just sleep and do nothing. And it's like the air duct is coming and it can split into 2. And if all of your air is going straight over to the room that has all that's possible and all the action you can take and all the clarity you can have, you need that air, that energy flowing in that direction to be able to move everything forward. But if you've got that closed off and you're giving everything to just noticing how stuck you are, or how screwed up everything is, or how screwed up everyone else is, yada yada, then you're just going to be stuck in that room, right? Where there's nothing to do and nowhere to go. And again, it's our own decision, because we have that level of radical responsibility in life, whether we want it or not. You know, like I said, there was a time where I didn't want that kind of responsibility. I didn't think it was great news to hear that it was up to me, that I was the maker or breaker of my good life or my sucky life, right? I didn't want to hear that, and I didn't want to deal with me on that level. But it went from being the worst news when I didn't want to rise up and deal with whatever it was that I needed to deal with in my life to move the ball forward. It ended up being amazing news that I've carried forward with me, where no matter where I'm at in life, I know that the only door that will ever be completely closed, like the only time I will never have any opportunity to move myself forward, is when I decide. It'll be a decision where I have decided I'm stuck. I'm not looking for any more open doors. It's my decision. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to stay here. I can't be mad at anybody. I can't complain to anybody about it because it's on me. But at least I know today that if I ever get really stuck, that I can get myself out of it or I can stay in it, and it's completely up to me. And so that's a very empowering thing to know. And when we accept that wherever it is that we are right now is exactly where we are meant to be, and we open up all that energy to just go, oh, let's move ourselves forward. Let's see what we can do and what is working. It's amazing to see how quickly, how fast we can change the trajectory of whatever it is that's going on in our life. It doesn't have to take a bunch of time. That's a belief. That is a belief that we construct and we will hold up. If you think it needs to take a lot of time and it needs to be really hard, then that's totally fine. It's going to take a lot of time and it's going to be really hard. And that's fine if that's what you want. But if that's not what you want, that I recommend as a powerful human being, then just be open to the new possibilities. Once you open up that energy from being, really stuck, now I'm open, I accept where I am, and then get excited and open to what else is possible and what else is going to come to you. Get grateful right now for all the good things that are coming. Get grateful like they've already happened for you and to you, and let your body feel that and experience that, because the brain does not know the difference between what has actually happened and what you have imagined. Again, that's why it's so important for us to be able to filter and take note of whatever it is that we're focusing on and thinking about. Our body literally reacts to the thoughts that go through our mind as if we have gone through them. So that's why when you want to think about like the worst case scenario because you want to plan for it, well, when you've thought really hard about the worst case scenario because you're planning for it, you've literally just experienced the worst case scenario, and your body goes through that trauma. Your nervous system goes through that trauma. You're suddenly, as you take your next step forward in life, you're coping with having experienced that terrible thing happening that hasn't even happened. That's only been imagined, and ironically, with the good intention of just trying to be prepared. So if you want to be able to really move forward and create your life right now without it feeling so traumatizing, and with good energy where you feel like you've got enough momentum to meet the day and think of new things and act on new things, then first step, accept that wherever you are right now is exactly where you're meant to be. And I guarantee that if you really let that sink in with you, that you're going to start having a lot of new things open up for you. And I'm actually really excited for you just thinking about that happening for you, because I know that's what it does for me. So I hope you're having a great day, and we will talk again soon. All right, bye.